Color bass is, in my opinion, one of the coolest genres of EDM. It takes what's so good about melodic dubstep, that being the beautiful chords and soundscapes, and magically transfuses that onto more traditional dubstep, giving it a bit of heaviness too. But a lot of people have found this genre to be one of the harder ones to create. How do you create something heavy yet beautiful at the same time? Well, a lot of companies have taken note of that and decided, hey, let's just make it so that you can input a harsh, dry sound and then it just comes out more rainbowy. And so that's how we got stuff like Pitchmap Colors, Chroma, Resonator, and a bunch more. Plugins that fall into this category are what I like to call color slop. It's kind of like the term friend slop, where it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, just that it's a bit trend hoppy and they're all marketed towards basically the same person. And I'm going to be ranking every single one of them in this video. Now, what actually counts as a color slop plugin? Well, first, it doesn't have to be marketed specifically for color bass. It's more about what it actually does. If you can put in a dry signal, pick a key, and get out some color bass as simple as that, that's color slop. So Callan's Chimera and my own Void Cutter don't count, since you have to put in a sidechain signal, which lets you then imprint anything on top of the original. So that would be more like Color Gem. But this does leave one of my own plugins in the tier list still, for better or for worse. And without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Alright, so here are our different tiers, S, A, B, C, D, F. S is like absolutely goated. You should definitely get this plugin. It will make your color bass easier and do other stuff, and will make other stuff good. Probably has to do more than just color bass stuff to be in this slot. A is like, it's still pretty good. I would definitely recommend using it. B is like, yeah, you can get that, might be useful, and then see. Why am I even explaining? You know how a tier list works. You clicked on the video, you know what a tier list works. And then we've got these plugins. I have tested most of these, so it's not going to be a completely blind reaction for this ranking. But we got Chroma, Pitchmap. I'll just get to it when I get to it. Okay, so first up we have Chroma. And Chroma is like the default color bass plugin. Like when someone mentions like color bass making plugin, you think of Chroma. It's just the color bass plugin. But like, I honestly think that color bass is like the worst application you could use it for. Let's just like drag in some bass loop. That one sounds good. Let's do Chroma. So this is Chroma. You probably knew that. The UI, very good, very clean, simple UI. You just like select a key and then it goes. That's like basically kind of the definition that I set up in the start of the video. You just like select a key and then it's colorful. And so it sounds like color bass, like that's the thing. And it sounds very like clean and professional. Now, why do I say that color bass is maybe the worst thing you can use it for? Well, it's because like it just kind of makes everything sound the same. Like if we get like another bass loop and put Chroma on it on the same key, they're just very tonally similar, and there's not much you could really do with that. I mean, you can change this color thing, which just makes it like more colorful, resonate-y something. And then there's also this spectral thing, I guess, which like, the only reason the spectral gate exists is so that you don't have this really weird like decaying resonance that happens when you put it at 200%. Like I'm pretty sure the morph is like some kind of spectral vocoder that like just morphs with the original signal so that it just doesn't decay weirdly. And then the spectral gate is just the same thing too, so it's not like actually changing much. Something I've used Chroma a lot for is like an auto tuner. That sounds like it's really weird, but it's actually kind of good for vocal processing because like it's very clean. You don't hear a kind of glide or transition between two notes. It's just, and then the notes are just already pitch shifted the moment they get there. Also, like the exposure's probably really annoying. Sorry about that. But like, it's just good for kind of tuning stuff subtly. And like, it's also good when there's a lot of layers. When you want to make a pad that's really interesting, like you could just get some random Foley, put reverb on it. And then you just kind of get a really clean pad, so Chroma can be used kind of like for that. But if you're gonna make a bunch of like complex bases and you're gonna put Chroma on each and every one of them, they're not gonna. It's just gonna sound like every other color-based song that uses a lot of Chroma. So that's honestly why I'm putting this in A tier, because it is a good plugin, but like color base is kind of like a main thing that it's marketed for, and it's not that good for it. I mean, it sounds good in isolation, but like you have to give reference. You have to compare it with other stuff. You have to know what it's like during layering. Pitchmap. Pitchmap is definitely a little more on the complex side. Like if we go back to our bass loop and then we put Pitchmap on it. But Pitchmap color. Where's normal Pitchmap? It worked in Bitwig. What? Whatever. I guess I'll switch over to Bitwig. All right. Pitchmap. We got Pitchmap. So we get that, and then we do like another one of these basses. Sure, this. Why not? Then this is the one with yep, it's the one with Pitchmap. Then you like you pick a key and it's like okay, I honestly, I kind of forgot how this works. The UI is just, like, a lot more complex than Chroma's. Like, you can't really tell what's going on. Oh, right, I have to click these. Oh, there we go. I had to turn up Purify. Sure, let's change the key to F. That sounds very clean. Okay, something that I've noticed and slightly forgot about is that there's just a lot more control than what Chroma gives you, and it's also not as resonating. It just sounds so clean. Like this all just works, and it's like all so different. Okay, I think that's another thing about its complexity. Like, when it sounds good, it does sound good, but, like, there's just so much stuff going on, and it's so hard to lose track of where your sound is actually going. What even is... Oh, that's just, like, an indicator of, like, which keys are going. Okay, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on with this plugin. It's very confusing, also very expensive. Like, good thing that it has a trial, because like the main thing is like over $100, I think. I bet it's pretty good. I also bet, like, I think this was made to be more of an auto tuner than what Chroma is, because this actually has like pitch glide stuff, which doesn't really make sense for making color-based stuff, but like it also wasn't marketed to be like color-based related, but like that's just a lot of what people are using this for nowadays, so that's why it's in the tier list. Even if something isn't marketed as being for color-based, it's just gonna be in here. So for this, because of how confused it made me, I guess I'll give this like an... But it also sounded so good. But it's also so expensive. This is a harder ranking than I thought. Whatever, A tier 2. Okay, up next is Pitchmap Colors. Pitchmap's more Chroma-like cousin. This is like what I consider to be the pinnacle of what I define as color slop. It has color in the name. It's like made... I'm pretty sure it was made after Chroma. It might not have been. But it's like... Yeah, it has color in the name. It's marketed towards color. It's very specifically color-based focused. And it's even made based off a plugin that people were already using for color-based anyway. And it's in collaboration with AU5. That just makes it so, wow, so you can do color-based now. You can do bro step? Well, color-based now. Just make it with this plugin. There you go.
Like that's kind of what this plugin is giving off. Not that that's a bad thing. I've fallen victim to that. We'll get to you later. But whatever. Let's just actually go into testing out the plugin. So Pitchmap colors. This does work in Ableton. It sounds very nice, but like, where is the key selection? Do you just have to like? Well, there's presets. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of presets. What even? There's just a lot of presets, and most of them actually don't seem to be like for color based. Most of them are just like sound design focused. Mostly, I don't know, but like if I just make like my best C sharp minor from, or not C sharp minor, just C minor from memory. How's that? All right, the sick, insane, and with the flip things are like, I think that's it. I mean, I think that's like a good way to describe it. But like, and this is like insane in the way that it's like, it just sounds crazy, but not like good crazy. It sounds like, why would you want to use that? Now, 6 still sounds like the best. Like the others, they're like, they sound designy. I don't know, they just sound unique, but like they don't give off color base, which is like kind of misleading. And also, I don't think this doesn't do nearly. This doesn't give you as many options as normal Pitchmap does, but it's like the same sound algorithm, I think. What's that? Oh, you can shift the key up? Oh, that's something I didn't realize. That's kind of useful. And then there's also, of course, a MIDI input. You can't directly select a key, which is like, come on, you're making a COLORSLOP plugin. Have a way to put in a key more easily. It's still $99 for the non-trial version. Like that's kind of a lot for what you're getting, honestly. And like I can see you using these modes, but like, not forget, your name is Pitchmap Colors. You're supposed to be for rainbow whatever base, not robot. But I mean, that sounds cool. It sounds like it's doing some kind of saw resynthesis something. But like, it's not what I'm looking for, you know. So for that reason, you're gonna have to go and see. I'm sorry, I had high expectations for you. Next up is Prisma by Blep Effects. This is the reason we're doing Ableton. Unfortunately, it just wouldn't work in Bitwig because the demo thing has like a detector where like if you have another instance, it like locks it. And this, it didn't have any other instances, but something was triggering it, and it was like, hey, you can't do that. You're supposed to only have one instance of Blep Effects Prisma, whatever, and in Ableton it works. From what I've seen, this plugin genuinely so good. Like, it's very useful, and I think the thing that like impressed me the most wasn't even the color basedness of it. Like, kind of like Chroma, but like in a better way where it seems intended for other uses much better. Like, if I open up Prisma. Oh yeah, another thing, I forgot to mention this about Chroma, but one of the main things I use Chroma for is just as like a key guide to like get notes in a key and then just use that for stuff without actually using its sound. So that's kind of funny. Random tangent. Whatever. Prisma, it sounds so good. Like, you select a scale in a very Chroma-like way. Oh yeah, you have to turn up color. That sounds so clean. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can change the tuning. So it's not just A equals 440. You can do other stuff too. Obviously, like, A440 is like the most common. That's what other thing. You're probably just going to use A440. But if you wanted to do other A tuning frequencies, you can do that. And that's so cool. And then this also has a formant shifter. I bet that's really good for vocals. The pitch shifter blew my mind with how clean it sounds. Like, if I turn off color, Like, it doesn't sound granular at all. It's just that clean. And of course it does sound good with the color, especially since that's put before the color. And then it lets you go all the way to 20 kilohertz high cut. Chroma doesn't even let you do that. Chroma, like, it has like a weird limit that's at like 10,000 or something. I don't know. Overall, like, oh yeah, and there's just like extra advanced settings. I don't know. I don't know how the extra advanced settings work, but this super underrated plugin for like not just its color, it's just really good, and the UI is just so clean. Like look at these fun animations. Look at these stuff that like this stuff. Look, it's so fun looking. I cannot give this plugin anything other than S tier. Good job, Blep Effects. Support indie plugin developers, says the independent plugin developer. Up next, we got EB Resonator. Now, I do have kind of a soft spot for this plugin because this is what got me into plug data and plugin making and all that sort of stuff. Like, I just found EB Resonator. Actually, no, it wasn't even me. It was my friend Asaniel. They just like found this, showed it to me, and then like I was looking into it, and I got just way more hooked on the thing it was made in rather than the plugin itself. But maybe that does say something about it. Like, you know, if I can get distracted from it, maybe that's not as good as I remember. I don't know. Let's load it in. Now this is, of course, a plug data plugin, so we're gonna load in plug data effects, my beloved. Do I still have it? Yes, I still have it favorited. Select a key. What? What is happening? Oh, mix. Oh no, that's the mix for the reverb. There we go. There's the EB Resonator right now. Yeah, that's something I noticed. Like, these don't sound like the right keys. That does not sound like A minor. Let me just, like, verify by putting Chroma on it. And, okay, yeah, another thing that does kind of boost Chroma in its favor is, like, it's very CPU efficient, so you can just use it for a lot of stuff, just in general, without having to worry too much about processing. But, like, so this is meant to be A minor. Is that actually what A minor sounds like? If this sounds like corrected at all with Chroma, it's not A minor. Okay, yeah, that's very different. I also remembered like the black keys are a little broken. Why does that sound lower than that? Oh my goodness. Is Resonator washed? Let's keep trying to see. Dude. The key, it sounds like it has potential, but the key stuff is just not working. That's like one of the prime things that you need for a good color slop plugin. I will say though that like generally wait, is it really that optimized? Like, let's turn this off. It's at, my CPU is at like 17% right now, and if I turn it off, okay, oh no. That's unfortunate. It's CPU heavy, and the key doesn't really work, and the UI just looks like this, and you see like the array names covered up by stuff. This is so unfortunate. I'm sorry, Ewan. You've made better plugins before. It pains me to say. This is D tier. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but like, it does have a lot of potential, and I think the key system must have worked at some point, because like it has like a ton of 5-star reviews, but it just kind of like doesn't actually. No, it does like generally sound good, and but it's also not used versatile. I don't know. There's there's gonna be usage for literally any plugin you can get, and I have to have standards. I'm sorry, it sounds so bad to say, but D-tier, whatever. Moving on. All right, we got a Synth Audio Resonator. But instead of that, we're just going to go straight to ranking this, since these plugins are basically just the same. Only this one is free and this one isn't. I don't think there's anything that either one has exclusive. This one just straight up copied this, like, beat for beat. Just the UI is kind of different, I think, which is kind of funny. But let's test out Phony Resonator first. It's not called Phony Resonator, it's just called Resonator, like the base word, which is like not the best marketing for your name, especially not the best like marketing for not looking like a copycat. But I don't know, this plugin, I think it's good. If I remember correctly, it's like you change the pitch with these knobs, and there's like, you know, you're probably getting bored of this bass loop. I'm just gonna change it to a different one. Sure, this one's fun. Okay, wait. Why no color base? I thought that was just a bit. I've been having issues with this plugin. It's not doing it. Just like the MIDI things to work. It has presets. That's pretty good. I don't know if the original Resonator with the Z has presets, but this has presets, which is pretty impressive for a free independent plugin. Does this do anything? Put MIDI into it. Oh yeah, with MIDI it does work. So if I like set a scale, and then let's just like. I mean, I guess it sounds good. I've always struggled with using Ableton Resonator and Sony Resonator for color-based anything. So, like, honestly, it's probably my fault this doesn't sound good. But, like, I don't know, these resonators just never sound good to me. And, I mean, I guess I'll do Sony Resonator in C, and then, like... No, but that means Synth Resonators in D. It's not that bad. And it also just is a me skill issue. Screw it. This one's B, and then, like, I don't know, no, Resonator should be higher, because it's the same tier. Like, it does cost money, but, like, I wasn't judging these two harshly on their money, and, like, this one is less buggy. Like, this one, you're gonna have problems with it, probably, but this one, not so much. So, they're about the same. You compromise some stuff with both. Alright, it is time for... Oh, gotta delete this layer. It's time for Flanger, the new kid on the block. This is by Minimal Audio, a goated audio company. I don't think they've ever missed with an idea. All their stuff is generally affordable, and like with their free trial, you can try like literally all their stuff for free 7 days. And then for the other stuff, which like you normally have to pay like hundreds of dollars, it's just a 15-month subscription to keep everything. I think that's pretty good. But anyway, what we're looking for is Flanger. Now, this isn't as straightforward as just input key and then you get out thing, but this is uncomfortable to wear. It's not as simple as just input thing and get out color. It's because by default it sounds more like this. And then you have to turn on scale and then like pick, I don't know, E minor. And now it'll just like snap this moving flanger to these different keys. So what you have to do then is turn up the voices. And then I think you do span. Oh yeah, that. And then like pitch. I forgot how this kind of works. Turn down mod depth, I think. Increase red. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, and then you turn up the wet knob. I barely know how this thing works. I was able to make something good with this, but I forgot how. Oh, that's what it is. I was turning the modulation knob negative. It's supposed to be in the middle, and then you can like make it that, and then... So it is kind of like Phony Resonator and Synth Resonator, where it's like using comb filters to resonate colorness, but like this is more interesting because it's more evolvey. It's meant to like move around more. It's not meant to just give like single like static like whatever stuff like that, which I think is kind of cool. And it's like, I don't think it's really meant for color base. I mean, I bet like the people were thinking of it when making this, but like it's just an advanced. I guess I'll give this like B tier again, because yeah, B, because no, because I like it better than professionals have standards. These C, Polyflanger B, because it just like moves around and it's cool, and these are like static, and you can basically just kind of emulate these with a bunch of kilohertz resonator plugins. So I don't know, they're both going in C. Whatever. Star Harmony. I have not tried this one, and this is the only one that I had to buy. All the others had demos. This one did not. So this better be good, or like I'm gonna be annoyed. Fortunately, it was on sale. It didn't say why it was on sale. It didn't say how long it was on sale. It just said it was on sale. So like, I don't know, it's probably on sale forever, but like supposedly this is another harmonic resonance something, which like is more focused on chords. That sounds like something. That's interesting. That's kind of cool, I think. You could introduce noise. Okay, whatever. Bass loop switch time. I don't want you to get bored. This is music production for neurodivergent people, after all. Don't want to bore the people with ADHD. Sure, you. Oh my goodness, this is kind of worrying. Wait, actually, this might be good for like an entirely different kind of color base, since it's like a lot gentler. And then you put a reverb. I don't know, that sounds kind of cool. I don't know, it's just not giving me a lot of low end. It's like only this one ringing thing. I had to pay 30 of my own dollars for this. Anyway, you are going... Unfortunately, I think it does some cool thing with the chord. I bet it's useful. They're all useful somehow. I elaborated on this. Fine, you can go next to the actually broken plugin. Superchord is another kind of older one that's like not really made for color basin specific, but it is a harmonic resonator, and you know what that means. Something interesting about this is it's like bagpipey. I don't know, there's even like bagpipe presets. It's interesting, but like it looks like this very much old kind of skeuomorphic-ish plugin. It sounds really weird by default. You can turn this shimmer down. And then it's just basically a harmonic resonator. If I do major E, E minor, actually. What is this stuff? There's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, you can change the A tuning. That's kind of cool. How do I make it less dark? Oh. There's also LFOs doing stuff. Let's go back to that major E. Sounds so much brighter. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of stuff you can do with this. And for that reason, I think I kind of misjudged it because like this wasn't. I put together this list myself, so this plugin is like definitely not made for color base. It's just kind of its own thing. And for that, I'm not going to judge it too harshly. It's like doing its own unique thing. I bet there's some cool, unique thing you can do with it. And B tier, I guess. Now it's time to move on to N-Prysm My Go. I've always loved this plugin. It is another plug data plugin. So let's drag in our favorite plugin, Plug Data Effects. Open up N-Prysm. Trust and open, yeah. I trust NASCO with my life. You can set the scale really easily. And then it just sounds good. It's like Retune if it didn't suck. Like, listen how good that sounds, and then you can like turn up this knob and like this isolate makes it like do that. There's a scale aware pitch shifter that like it just sounds really good. And like everything about it, it sounds so kind of customizable, yet still like you can still recognize it. I don't know, but it's also just so easy to use. I think the only issue with it is that it like takes up a good amount of CPU, and the fact that it's paid, but it's only like $15. Like, and that $15 doesn't just get you this; it gets you like all of NASCO's premium plugins, which super cool business model. And then you forget to cancel your subscription, and now you're just locked in to all those plugins forever. Mwahahaha. Jokes aside, NASCO, cool person. Yeah, I don't know. I've used this plugin a lot in colorful stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in S tier. Up next, speaking of, we got Retune. In my testing, I was not able to figure out a good way to make this sound good. Yeah, this is the demo version, of course. I'm not paying for all this, except for one. So there's two things here. There's this key that's like these keys, major. It does Dorian Lydian Loxian before it goes to minor for some reason. And even when it goes to minor, what's even happened? And then I guess turn up pitch correct. You can like subtly hear a bit of colorness, kinda. I don't know how people use this to make color base, and I didn't bother looking up a tutorial, but like, I think that it's another plugin that wasn't designed for color base. I got to keep that in mind. But like, how would this doesn't sound like it's pitch correcting anything? I like turned down smoothing, and that did something. Sounds like it's doing something. What if I turned this bottom one to minor? Okay, it's definitely doing something. It's definitely doing some pitch correction, but it's like, it's so subtle. Like, if you're gonna make a plugin that has any values at all, you should let the user, like, push them to the max they can go without sounding horrible. What even is this doing? And this plugin is, like, a lot of money on its own. Like, I mean, I bet it's useful for things, and I bet, like, I am using it wrong. But, like, it's overall just so confusing. I don't know what's going on with it. And for that, I don't know. It just D tier again. There's not a lot of good in these. EQ Resonator. This one's also kind of new. This one is by Aquanode. Aquanode is someone who I've not been particularly following along with for a very long time. But I don't know. I've been seeing him post stuff in the Ewan Bristow Discord server, and he's a developer that exists. Another independent guy. This one just uses AI to code stuff, which like, Anyway, if we put this on, so this, it's basically just like an EQ Resonator thing. Like, you can select the key. This note selector is very hard to see, but you can notice it if you try. So let's just like create a minor key. And then when you've done that, if you turn on wet only, that's when you can actually hear stuff. Then you can turn up all these things individually. I mean, I guess it sounds good. If I turn up the Q for these, how's that? Just more resonance. Oh my gosh. Sorry for that. Apparently if you turn the Q all the way down, it turns awful. But like if I turn all of these down on their own, I guess this can be useful. I have no idea what the subtract thing does. I don't know what subtract mode does. I've never gotten it to make any sound. Anyway, this is definitely a plugin, but it feels like it was simultaneously made for color based and like just also not at the same time. I don't know how to describe it, but like it just feels a little unintuitive to use. Like turning the gain up for all these is a little weird, and the Q for all these. And then again, this is also just like a faster way to like resonate stuff with an EQ. So like you could just use an EQ and turn the stuff you want, but technically this does improve the workflow. And even if you do have to change everything manually, you would still have to do that in an EQ. I don't know. I guess C tier. Now for Hue Shift. So what is Hue Shift? Well, Hue Shift is a plugin I made that's basically another harmonic resonator, but it uses all pass filters, like Kilohertz Disperser. So it's basically like if Kilohertz Disperser and Zenith Chroma had a child, which sounds cool in theory, but unfortunately, they're both Chroma and Disperser are like slightly overhyped plugins that got a lot of people talking about them upon release, and then people don't really use or talk about them that much anymore from what I've seen. They both kind of fall into that category, which kind of makes them siblings, and so in practice, them having a child doesn't work out, as with the case with Hue Shift. Now, this is a plug data plugin that I made, so we are going to go back and plug data. I'm pretty sure I already said I made it. Whatever. I don't even have it. I don't even have it in my recents. I never use this. There's no reason you should use this plugin. I only have it up on my Gumroad because I don't feel like taking anything down, and I feel like showing my progress is cool, I guess. Let's go into Hue Shift. Look at how, oh, this is like a different version, I think. Okay, trying to find Hue Shift again. Is it this beta thing? I think it may be. Restore autosave? No. Yay. Why does it look like that? Whatever, it's a little broken. But if we put it on, let's do another bass loop. This seems like it might work. Okay, let's put this on. Select our key, turn up stack. And then these buttons were meant to like gain the lower octave use and the higher octave use, and then it starts to sound maybe usable. It's still really weird. Turn out resonance. That sounds very lasery, which is like kind of cool, but not color. I thought this was a cool idea, and then I just never used it because like it doesn't sound good, which unfortunately makes my own plugin the only one in F tier. Like I cannot recommend this plugin to basically anyone, which like it's unfortunate. It would be so cool if like I could be like, oh yeah, and this is my really cool plugin that makes the world's best color base 100% of the time. No, it's like it isn't useful for anything. I tried putting it on like Foley, it like kind of worked. Like there's some like demo samples that I have on the Gumroad page for it. They sound decent. I have no idea how I made those. I think I might have. I'm not saying I did. I may have potentially just incorporated Chroma into that just to make it sound good. If I did, why? But anyway, yeah, just bad. However, I am currently working on a plugin that can hopefully redeem myself. It's very work in progress, but it sounds a lot better. And it's like, kind of like if either Thony or Synth Resonator like had a much cleaner UI. Let's like set the key. And then, oh yeah, this is the envelope follower. It comes with an envelope follower. And then we have these things, which are like you increase the octave levels. Oh wait, no, these are the envelope follower controls. But anyway, but yeah, this is what the plugin sounds like. Which doesn't sound half bad. So when I release this, this will like undoubtedly be my best color-based specific plugin. Unless you could count Void Cutter, but like it wasn't originally intended for that anyway, and it doesn't fit into the tier list anyway because again, you can't have any like sidechain input or other stuff. But yeah, this is my COLORSLOP plugin tier list ranking. Let me know if I missed any important ones.
So, in the middle of me editing this video, Virtual Riot just released a plugin that's just exactly the kind of thing that this tier list is. Like, it's... Anyway, so I'm gonna be testing that right now and ranking it because I guess I have to. It also came with no demo file. I had to pay with my own money again. Like, please get Void Cutter Supporter Edition so that this, like, doesn't, so that I'm not completely in the red. Anyway.